Over this last summer, I, as a seasoned FNAF fan, decided to go back and fully complete all 6 of the original FNAF games in the pursuit of one goal: gain a full, intimate understanding of the original FNAF story. All in order to better understand Edwin Murray's role in this new era of FNAF with the release of Secret of the Mimic. And while I do believe I am starting to piece together a narrative with the clues from both the original games and Secret of the Mimic that could answer some really important questions, primarily why William Afton begins his path of murder and torture, I found myself piecing together some other extremely important details that I believe answers one of the longest unanswered questions of this franchise. What was in the FNAF 4 box, and why is it so important to the story of the original games? Now, to be clear, Scott Cawthon has gone on record saying that not only has the contents of the box changed multiple times, but that he has even lost track of what he originally intended for the cryptic 10-year-old mystery box. The answers that I will present today are less so about the box itself and more about piecing together a cohesive narrative with the pieces that we have been given in an attempt to better understand the early days of this franchise and an answer centered around this box mystery. It starts, maybe unexpectedly, with the FNAF 2 movie. As of writing this script, the movie has yet to have been released, but there is one important detail that I feel has gone undiscussed by the community. That being in the official second trailer for the movie, when Vanessa, presumably in her father's house that she inherits after the events of the first movie, pulls a large box out of a corner of a closet, followed by her placing a series of items that includes Garrett's toy plane onto a shelf. Given that we know that Afton gifted Garrett's plane to Vanessa via the photograph she shows Mike right before the climax of the first movie, we know that William Afton held on to Garrett's plane as a trophy of this kill. Knowing this, it would be logical then to presume that the other items lined up with Garrett's plane are other items that Afton collected as trophies from his other victims. This already is a very strange new detail about William Afton's specific behavior that really has never been shown in either book or game. But I think this behavior has the potential to answer what was originally in the FNAF 4 box: a series of trophies from the MCI victims that would have identified William as the culprit of the missing children's incident. I understand that while at first this might sound like a great solution, it falls apart when we come to the fact that we have never really seen the MCI victims in-game, outside of their gravestones, and therefore have no way to possibly link a collection of unknown items in an unopened box to the MCI victims in William Afton. But is that really true? In FNAF 4, on Night 3, the post-night minigame has CC Afton leave Fredbear's and make his way home along a path. On his way, he encounters 5 other children who have all been invited to CC's party at the end of the week. If you stop and interact with these children, they all range from ambivalent to CC's distressed counterfeits to straight antagonism. Where's your plush toy? Mine is Spring Bonnie. My daddy says I have to be careful with him or I'll pinch my finger. He is a finger trap, he says. Are you going to the party? Everyone is going to the party. Oh wait, you have to go. It's your birthday, ha ha. You'd better watch out. I hear they come to life at night, and if you die, they hide your body and never tell anyone. Why do you look so worried? See you at the party, ha ha ha. Aren't you the kid who always hides under the table and cries? Ha ha ha. No one else is scared. Why are you? Stop being such a baby. All of these children show no care for CC, despite him clearly being upset. All except for one. A girl with brown hair and blue eyes with a collection of toys. Why are you crying? Don't you like my toy collection? This one kid of all 5 recognizes that CC is crying and tries to cheer him up by showing him her toy collection, which, based on CC's bedroom, would be a good strategy for another kid who knows CC's interest to try and cheer him up. All 5 of these kids were invited to CC's party. All 5 were present for his death. And all 5 would have been observed by William Afton via CC's Fredbear plush. What I propose is that in 1985, when William Afton committed the MCI, he did not pick 5 random children, but the 5 children that, from his point of view, ignored and belittled his beloved son, maybe even finding them implicit in Cece's death due to their lack of care and action. He makes the rumors he overhears from one of the kids true, stuffing them in the animatronic suits. Not so funny now, is it? He collects their beloved items as trophies. A balloon, a Springtrap plush, a collection of toys, and he hides them in a box out of obsession, regardless of how guilty it would make him be should the box be found. He takes this box and buries it out in the middle of the woods, a little ways away from his house, but still close enough for him to make visits. But there was one thing that William Afton ignored in his rage and bloodlust. The one child who cared about Cece. The one that always tried to cheer Cece up with her toy collection. That one? That child? She wasn't like the other kids. That one, he shouldn't have killed. A major point of contention in FNAF 2 was around the status of the toy animatronics. Without a group of kids inside of them, what was driving them to attack the night guard? They were clearly possessed in some way, shown by their dark twinkling eyes and abnormal behavior. And why would Toy Chica be missing her beak? Now, if that last question sounds familiar, it should. Because on December 19th, 2015, during a GT live stream that gathered the largest names in FNAF Theorydom at the time, Scott Cawthon updated his site, scottcawthongames.com, with a series of questions pointed towards the stream. One of these questions being, in the FNAF 4 minigame, why would tiny Toy Chica be missing her beak? It was a weird detail to point out at the time, but if we assume that the girl that took her Toy Chica's beak off is Cassidy, the girl who goes on to possess Golden Freddy, then maybe it finally answers what was driving the toy animatronics in FNAF 2. It's her. She's the one controlling the toy animatronics to try and throw everything she can at the much despised night guard. And she ends up treating the toy animatronics just like her beloved toys that she had in life, tearing off Toy Chica's beak before playing with her. But why does any of this matter? I mean, it's not like the MCI victims or the original story of FNAF is having any impact as the story of the game move forward with the tales of the Mimic, Gregory, and the Pizzaplex. But I think the ideas presented in this video give us a clearer image of William Afton's motivations, fleshing him out as not a random, rageful serial killer, but a cold, calculated killer who justified every killing he committed. To William Afton, in his twisted mind, the MCI victims deserved what he did to them because of how they treated his son, when in reality, these kids deserve none of what they got, and a true innocent ends up dying. An innocent that would go on to haunt the rest of William Afton's terrible, horrific life.
Hi, if you've made it this far in the video, then I'm assuming that you at least enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope that you take into consideration what I've thrown out. This is my first time ever trying to throw my hat into the ring of FNAF Theorydom, so I'm quite excited and a little nervous about how this is going to be received, but let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Subscribe and like the video if you'd like to see more content like this, and thank you very much. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.